Look how smooth and beautiful that action is. Hey guys, Rene Lopez here, and it's been quite a while since I've made a video like this talking to you guys. A lot has changed since I made that video of building up my office desk. And during this time, especially this year of all that's going on, I've picked up an old hobby that has been near and dear to me since before I was a teenager, I guess. Yeah, I've gotten back into RC cars. I'm actually starting to club race. In this video, I am going to show you guys how I rebuild my shocks. Actually, I'm going to be rebuilding shocks from the stock shocks from my Team Associated B6.2. I've had the kit since about April or May, and I've been kind of just practicing, doing a lot of laps with it, and did one club race with it, or actually 2 club races with it, and it's kind of taken on a pretty good beating, especially the front shocks. You can tell, kind of taking a beating. It doesn't really affect the performance, the functionality of the shock itself, but I like to keep my cars pretty clean looking, and kind of wanted to test out the Fox Kashima shocks, replace these with those. I also picked up some pistons from Shell Racing. For the fronts, I'm doing the split piston 1.6, 1.7, and apparently my kit came in the rears at 1.8. I never really bothered to contact Team Associated to correct that issue in the kit, so I went ahead and got the Shell 1.7s for the rear. Yeah, let's get on with the video. So I bought the version 2 machine shock. Come on, machine shock spacers. It's a little bit different, the parts from the kit. The kit had 2 of these hat bushings where one would go farther in the shock, and then one on the bottom. This one instead has one thin one that has no kind of hat design versus the hat design. So this one goes kind of on the top of the stack, and then the hat bushing version goes on the bottom of the stack. So there's the directions right there. And just to kind of illustrate that there is that thin bushing and then the hat bushing. So what I like to do is, just to keep myself organized, I line up my parts according to how they're inserted. So this is the top of the stack, X-ring, thick bushing or thick spacer, another X-ring, and the hat bushing. I'm going to be using 110% RC sweats. And what I like to do, what I've learned from Ryan Harris, that's kind of made his name on YouTube in the RC industry, and thanks to him, he's kind of influenced me in getting really deep into the hobby, and kind of educated myself on all the techniques, new products, and all that stuff. So what he's done is kind of use a wrench. I'm using 1.5, just kind of line up everything. I'm just adding grease in between each part and make sure the small portion of the hat is pointing down, because the top of the stack, and you want the small part of the hat pointing down, so that when the bottom cap of the shock body is screwed on, it sits well on that bushing. Insert it like this. Let's see, which camera should I? Stays lined up together, nice and tidy. I won't be reusing my old hardware, so I'm kind of deleting all the blue bits from this kit and turning them all black because I like black. I think the only blue parts that I still have on the car is the C and D pill blocks. So Screw on the bottom cap. Don't do it too tight because you still need to, I don't screw it all the way down because you still need to insert the shaft, the shock shaft. Just add some oil on the shaft so that it slides into the shock body and doesn't damage the O-rings. Like butter. Calipers. I don't have any more of these long eyelets, so I did have to hard out my old shock assembly. I'm going to set my shock length, my stroke length to 29. It's good. I'm going to be filling it. What I'm going to do is push the piston up and kind of release the air bubble, any air bubbles that were already accumulated underneath the piston. And move that up and down a couple times, push the air out that's trapped underneath the piston, and then I'm just gonna set it in the stand and wait for a few moments for all the bubbles to escape from underneath the piston, and then we'll bleed the shock. Pretty sure all the bubbles are out of there now. So now I'm just gonna take the cap, tighten it up. I'm gonna just use this camera, main camera. Just punch you guys down. So basically, just gonna hold the shock upright, about the angle where the shock's gonna be mounted, and then we just slowly push down on the shock shaft. And you can see some of the oil bleeding out of the bleed hole. Have a rag ready and wipe off the excess coming out. Hold it compressed like that, and then insert the screw in the bleed screw. Now we want to just start pumping the shock shaft up and down, or back and forth. See what kind of rebound, if any, we get. And there's a little bit. I kind of want to make this a bit more dead. So I'll extend the shock shaft and hold it there with my other fingers and keep it like that. Take out the blade screw. Again, we're gonna bleed the shock again and see if to get any more of the air bubbles, and probably a little bit more fluid coming out, and we get more fluid coming out. Keep it compressed, put the bleed screw back in. Press it out again. A couple compressions. That's perfect. That's how I like my shock action to react around the track. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. Really liking, man, these are, oh, I mean, for an amateur driver like me that still trying to make A-mains, these really aren't necessary, but man, they're so beautiful. It just makes, like, I may not be fast, but I'm gonna at least make my car look fast. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. It seemed like an easy video to film, but for some reason I was just having all this. I'm just gonna end this video. Like it, subscribe, whatever, do whatever you want. Comment down below. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know whenever that's gonna be, but yeah, hopefully it'll be soon. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.